welcome to another episode of Pleasant View Trading Minutes. Today we're going to review standpipe operations. How to connect to the standpipe, do a stairway and hallway stretch, and then how to load the high-rise packs afterwards. The plug guy is going to stop at the floor below our fire floor, shrug his pack off, and then we're going to connect to the standpipe here. After he unbundles it, the officer and the firefighter can work on stretching the hose up the stairway. First, he's going to ensure that the standpipe is shut, and he's going to go ahead and open up his discharge. Visually inspect inside to make sure there's no debris or obstructions. Flush the standpipe system, just like we do hydrants, making sure you flush it until we have clear water. Shut it down. Connect our high-rise pack and then give it a good snug down with the spanner wrench. Try and make it as watertight as possible. At this point, the plugman is going to ensure that the line is stretched, that there's no kinks in it, that this doorway to the hallway is chocked open. And then he's going to come back to the standpipe and wait for the officer and engineer to call for water. I'm going to take it into our stairway. Make sure we chock this door. Always chock it on the bottom hinge here. Give us plenty of room around the corners. Which brings us to the landing here, which is where we're going to drop our second standpipe pack. Drop that. When we're putting this out in the stairway, we want to make sure that we're flaking our hose on the outside of the stairs. Again, give it a good snug down to try and ensure a watertight connection as best we can. Make sure this hose is on the outside of our stairway going up, which brings us to our third drop point on the fire floor. At this point, we have two options. We're going to check our hallway on the fire floor, see if we have a tenable hallway or not. If the door to the fire room has been closed, more likely we're going to have a tenable hallway where we can work without masking up. If there's smoke and fire in this hallway that makes it untenable, we need to stretch our hose in the stairway before we charge it. At this point, we have a tenable hallway. We're going to go ahead and chock this door open to our fire floor. Our firefighter is going to take our third pack, drop it at the door to the fire room. Let's go. We're calling 373 here. It's going to be our fire room. So we're going to unbundle our third pack, connect it to our hose that's been going up. Put your nozzle right at our door. We got an inward opening door. We don't have to worry about the door opening towards us. So we're going to drop our nozzle right at our door. Give the hose one flake back in the hallway. Now we have our entire 150-foot stretch up the stairway, both doors chocked, the entire line straight except for the one curve that we're putting in our working line right into our door. At this point, we can call our plugman for water at the standpipe, charge the line, force the door, and then tack in if we need to. If we look over here real quick, if we're saying this is our fire room here, we also have the option of forcing the door across the hall and loading up our hose in that apartment so we have a straight lane into our fire room. Now we're going to go over stretching for a stairway stretch. In this scenario, we've already connected to the FDC to the standpipe on the second floor. We've already flaked our hose up the outside of the stairwell to our fire floor. At this point, we'd open this door to the fire floor, and we're going to determine that we have an untenable hallway. So we have smoke and fire in the hallway, and we're unable to work in the hallway without our masks. At that point, keep this door closed. We're going to have to flake all our hose in the stairway, charge it, and then fight down the hallway to the fire room. So we're going to drop our nozzle section of our high-rise pack in the stairway here. Unbundle it with our nozzle towards our door. Flake this around the back of the pack, the back of the knee. And then we're going to flake this out in the coil method similar to the way we use our pre-connect coils. Luke is going to grab 2 loops as we connect the pack here. At this point, we're using the coil method, just like we do with our pre-connect. We can go ahead and call for water. This will charge right up in the loops. We'll have working loops going into our fire room. At that point, we can mask up here, make entry into this door, and fight our way down the hallway to the fire floor. Now that we've gone over deploying the high-rise packs, we're going to review loading them. Get either a sledgehammer or an axe. We're going to use the 32-inch handle on the tool to measure out the length of the high-rise pack. Do a horseshoe fold around it, just going around the handle. And just like every other load we do, make sure we parade load at the ends. At this point, we're going to put 2 straps on the male side, 1 strap on the female side, and it's ready to go over an SCBA. We're also going to put a spanner wrench on this pack to ensure that this pack is the one the plugman gets to give him a spanner wrench at the standpipe. Same principle with the nozzle section. Start with the female coupling. Just begin horseshoeing it around. Since we want the nozzle opposite the female section, we'll just put a little Dutchman in the hose. And then, again, 2 straps on the male end, 1 strap on the female end. Okay, we'll finish strapping that up. Thanks for watching this episode of Pleasant View Training Minutes.